Hey guys, I want to talk about nutrition. Okay, that is a very important subject when it comes to developing athletes. When you come to the gym, you lift weights, you break the muscles down. They need to be repaired. They need to be fueled. What happens a lot of times, I notice that there's a lot of people that work really hard when they lift weights. They put a ton of effort into it. They work their butt off. And then time and time again, I'm sure you've been at the gym and you'll see the guy that has worked out for 10 years or maybe a few years, and it's like, man, this guy comes in here, he works hard, but he always looks the same. And the reason he looks the same is because he's lacking his nutrition. Okay? Well, a great example that I like to give people, if your goal is to build muscle, you could have the best carpenter. So you could have someone come into your parents' house and your parents say, you know what, I want a 3-story house built. And then they go to Lowe's and they buy him enough materials and wood to build a 2-story house. So what will happen is he's the best carpenter in the world. He's going to build him a beautiful 2-story house. But he's never going to have the ability to build them a 3-story house, because in order to build a 3-story house, your parents needed to buy that gentleman enough wood to build a 3-story house. Okay, so our bodies are no different. If we want to gain 5 pounds of lean muscle mass, we have to eat extra calories so that our body can take those calories from our workouts and build bigger muscles. And the only way our bodies can build extra muscle is if we take in extra calories. So when it comes to nutrition, we're going to talk gaining lean muscle. And I say lean muscle because our goal is not to gain fat. And let's talk fat loss. First, we're going to start gaining lean muscle. If you want to gain muscle, first thing you need to do is find what's called your basal metabolic rate. And all your basal metabolic rate is how many calories a day you need to eat in order to stay the exact same weight that you are now. Now obviously that's not your goal, but we need to have a starting point, because you're going to hear me say all the time, without a plan we're planning to fail. In order to develop our plan, we need to figure out how many calories a day do you need to eat in order to be exactly where you're at. What I love to advise to our athletes is an app that kind of does it all for you. It's called MyFitnessPal. It's an app that I endorse. I really think that's great. So you're going to go on MyFitnessPal, free app. You can get it on your app store, whether it be a Droid or an Apple. And you're going to download MyFitnessPal. And when you download it, it's going to ask you your age, your height, your activity level. Because if you have a twin and one of you work on a farm and another of you sits in the office, obviously the calorie requirements for the farmer versus the one sitting in the office are going to be completely different, because the farmer is going to work tremendously harder, in turn burning way more calories, and need a lot more calories in order to gain weight. So it's great that it asks those questions. You can go and do equations and figure this out, but what I love about MyFitnessPal, it figures it all out for you. Okay? So when you download MyFitnessPal, it's going to ask you these questions. It's going to find your basal metabolic rate, and it's going to ask you a question. Do you want to gain weight or lose weight? Well, obviously, if we want to gain muscle, we need to gain weight. So it'll ask you, how much weight do you want to gain? You want to put 1 pound per week. You never want to gain more than 1 pound per week, because our bodies physiologically can only gain so much muscle so fast. If you find that you gain 2 or 3 pounds per week, I can assure you it's not all lean muscle. If you gain 3 pounds, I guarantee you 2 of the 3 pounds are fat, because our body physiologically can only gain muscle so fast. So if we're looking to gain muscle, we want to limit that to 1 pound per week. And if that doesn't sound like much, again, if our goal is 5 pounds, you got 5 weeks to gain 5 pounds of lean muscle. If you find in one of those weeks you gain 2 pounds, you need to lose 1 pound and only gain 1 pound that week. Okay? So when we're doing this, and if 5 pounds doesn't seem like a lot to you, I want you to put 5 pounds of burger on the table and to think that could be lean muscle in your legs, your chest, your shoulders. That's a lot of muscle. 5 pounds lean is a lot. Okay? Now when we go about this, I'm going to give you guys a paper, very genetic paper, because you are what you eat. Not only do you need to eat extra calories, but the quality of calories you eat is going to dictate the way you look. I always say, if you eat a pizza, you're going to look like a pizza. If you eat something bad for you, it's going to turn out bad, because our bodies will react to the food that we give it. So, some basics are, some of my first basic tips is never drink your calories. You don't want to drink orange juice, apple juice. You don't want to drink milk. You want to stay strictly to eating your food. So when you're eating or when you're drinking calories, you're very prone to spike your insulin. The only hormone in your body that's going to make you fat is insulin. So if you're if you're taking in too many carbs, you're going to spike your insulin, which if you know anything about diabetics, you know they take in sugar to spike their insulin so that they don't go into shock. Same thing with our bodies. When we eat any type of carb, it's going to spike your insulin. So what I'm getting at is, you know, we want to eat foods that don't spike our insulin but do give us energy. And, you know, that's your whole grain carbohydrates. You know, some quick ones are brown rice, sweet potato. You know, and I'm going to give you a paper again. It's going to explain this all to you. So, you know what? When you're eating, you really want to try to eat your food, not drink it. Now, protein. If you drink protein shakes, that's fine because there's no carbs in it. You're not going to spike insulin. So, when you're going about this nutritional program, it's really not that complicated. You go on MyFitnessPal. You go that you want to gain 1 pound per week. I'm going to give you a paper of what you can or cannot eat, and if you do what's on the paper, you're going to succeed. That simple. Okay? If you know, and I guarantee you guys are smarter than what you think. You know, is McDonald's bad for you? Yeah, it's bad for you. Is Pizza Hut bad for you? Yeah, it's bad for you. Is a chocolate chip cookie bad for you? Yeah, it's bad for you. You're probably a lot smarter than what you think. You just aren't making the right choices. So make sure that you make the common sense choices. You know, why drink orange juice when you can have an orange? Why drink apple juice when you have an apple? Because there's a lot more fiber in those foods, and your insulin spike's going to be tremendously less. Okay? So, you know, and then just to be a little bit more specific, let's talk fat loss now. So when we're getting to fat loss, same concept. If we're losing weight, you know, we don't want to lose it too fast. If you ever seen someone, maybe in a month or two, lose 40 pounds, they look like crap. Yeah, they lost weight, but I call them skinny fat. You're going to find that they lose a lot of weight really fast, and they look really skinny, they look really floppy. And the reason for that is because not only did they lose a lot of fat, they lost a lot of muscle. So in order to look great, you don't want to lose you don't want to lose weight too fast. I never recommend losing more than 2 pounds per week. You might find that if you're very overweight, you'll lose maybe 4 pounds, 5 pounds for a week or two. But then after that, it should go to about 2 pounds per week. You know, now you guys might be impatient and want to maybe do it faster than that. But what you're going to find is you're going to be very weak. You're going to look if you ever seen someone lose a lot of weight really quickly, again, they look very soft, they look very sloppy. So a good rule of thumb is, after you kind of lose your quick weight, you want to lose about 2 pounds per week and no more. Even one's even more sufficient. And the reason for that is when we're losing weight, we want to focus on, you know, keeping as much muscle as we can. So science has proven that the slower we lose weight, the more muscle we can retain. But if we stop eating, not only does our body chew up our fat, but it also chews up our muscles because our muscles have amino acids, and our body will go in, utilize those amino acids for energy to get through the day, which is not our goal. Our goal is to get the fat off while retaining the muscle. So again, what do we eat? We'll eat what's on the paper. So just to recap, if we want to gain muscle, we need to eat extra calories. If we want to lose fat, we need to lose calories. And I could get into all the equations and be very, you know, waste a lot of time. But if you download MyFitnessPal, it does it all for you. And then my next question from my athletes, after they count their calories or get the calories set, what do I eat? Well, what's nice is I'm going to give you a basic paper. If you eat what's on the paper, you're going to look great. If you don't eat what's on the paper, you're going to look like crap. And you get what you deserve. You eat like crap, you look like crap. You eat great, you look great. You know, if you want to achieve the uncommon, you need to do the uncommon. Alright, so thanks guys. That's just a quick nutritional tip. And hope you guys succeed in your goals.